tomorrow.
Not a lot of base runners and not a lot of runners in scoring position tonight for the Oakland A's. But let's begin our program with a little look at Shohei Ohtani. You want to begin with hitting or pitching?
Boy.
Let's go with hitting first. Did hit the homer and the solo shot in the top of the seventh. That's the final run for Los Angeles in this game. But he also singled in an earlier at-bat before Taylor Ward hit the 3-run homer. He walked. He also reached base on a fielder's choice. So he was getting on base tonight. He was doing things with the bat as much as that was not his main priority.
Solid at the plate. I think he watched earlier as Selman was throwing that breaking ball. And then he sat on the breaking ball. He got a breaking ball around 78, 80 miles per hour, and he just put a good swing on it.
All right, so history made tonight, 118 home runs. As you look at the list here, by most home runs by a Japanese-born player, Oakland's own Hideki Matsui. I can say that, of course, because he played here 1 year in the 2011 season, but Shohei's in good company there with Hideki and Ichiro.
Well, he's called Ichiro and passed him already.
Yep.
In such a short period of time. And it just shows you how good of a hitter he is because he's able to get hits, but then a lot of times he's driving the ball and he's hitting it out the yard.
And you saw that stat there with Babe Ruth, that he joins in 10-plus homers and 10-plus wins in all those seasons. It's just, it's an amazing story. And also, as you look at Ohtani tonight, battling through the previous toe injury, which seemed like it was brought back when he got hit with that comebacker. Laureano hit it off. And let's just get right into pitching. We'll paint the corner, presented by Kelly Moore Paints. First off, in terms of tonight's starters, and James Caprillion, the last time he faced Ohtani, outdueled him in Southern California. Not so much the case tonight. Cap wasn't bad, but 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned. He did walk 3. I think that did affect him. He did strike out 6, but gave up that 3-run homer. It made all the difference on the scoreboard. 97 total pitches for Caprillion. Okay, now on to Ohtani. I don't think he was ready to leave the game after 6. I think when they decided to pull him, that was a bit of a surprise.
It was a bit of a surprise because he had an inning where he didn't have much stress.
Right.
But the bottom line was he was able to throw 4 pitches for strikes tonight. And I think sometimes the hitters were helping him out because those pitches weren't in the strike zone. We talked about in the pregame, making him throw these for called strikes, trying to eliminate pitches so that you wouldn't chase pitches that were not in the strike zone. Easier said than done because the splitter looks like a fastball. It's in the strike zone and it breaks out the strike zone. But if you know that it's not going to be a strike, you have a better tendency to lay off of it and then look for pitches up in the zone.
There's the comebacker off Ohtani's toe. What's amazing is that when he walked off the mound into the dugout that half inning, he
was limping.
Injured. I mean, to the point where you could see it on his face, body language, all that. And then by the next half frame, he was right back out there. He was taking ABs. He homered later in the game. I guess it's one of those we'll see how you feel tomorrow type situations. But I don't know if it was just the pain went away. It was a temporary thing, but it was very misleading if what you saw at first you thought was the end result. It certainly wasn't.
Yeah, I'm like you. It was temporary. It's like when you get hit by a pitch, you know, instantly it hurts, but then
brush it off.
When you brush it off and run to first base, you don't feel it anymore. These guys are tough mentally, and he's a very tough kid. And so I think that initially he thought maybe, you know, it does hurt, but as he continued to walk it off, he felt a lot better, and he was able to get back out there.
All right, so let's look at James Caprillion. And honestly, he was stung by 2 sequences in the game. In the 3rd inning, it was the triple by Duggar and then the single by Fletcher. That was a run right there. And then later on, Taylor Ward hit a 3-run homer. This after Ohtani singled, Rengifo got on an E3, and then Ward goes deep. There were really minimal mistakes. Like, he wasn't battling uphill all night, wasn't fighting his way through a bunch of jams. It just so happened to be that a couple sequences really hurt him.
Yeah, that was a nice play right there. Yeah. But the bottom line was he was matching Ohtani inning for inning.
Yeah.
You know, the 3rd inning when he gave up the triple, the leadoff triple, and then the blooper base hit.
Right.
Yeah, they got on the board that way.
And that right there.
But then that right there. And Taylor Ward, let me tell you, earlier in the season, he was having a great year.
I remember.
And he ran into the wall in right field, and he hurt himself. And then after that, he had a tough time trying to find his way. But these guys, they can still swing the bats, and if you make a mistake, they'll take you deep.
Well, speaking of that, the homer was our turning point presented by Toyota. Taylor Ward, there's a reason he's hitting cleanup. And these are the Angels' 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning. What's crazy is after that, Adele lines out to 3rd base, Walsh flies out to left, and Stassi strikes out. Like 1, 2, 3 after this. Cap settled down, got out of that. just so frustrating that that was the inning and his last inning where things came undone.
Yeah, that was a big play right there at first base with Sarge. Should have thrown the ball to second base, but he stops. And then now he just lobs the ball over there, and he lobs it too high where Cap can't make a play on it. That was a big play in this inning.
Yeah, so Rengifo there on the E3, and then Taylor Ward going yard. I think Cap knew. What was he signaling right there?
Y'all give me a new ball.
Yeah, already.
Yeah.
Already.
That was a mistake to zone. And again, Taylor Ward can swing the bat. Again, if he hadn't been hurt early in the season, he was having a great year. And sometimes injuries just can curtail everything that you've been working for, and then you just can't catch up with the league.
Let's close the game out with one final thought here. How many runs Cap let in? Whatever. The A's let up 5 runs total tonight. They only scored 1. You weren't going to win the game most nights scoring just 1 and scoring it in the 9th inning. So hard to criticize Cap too much. Like a solid performance, no question about it. Not his greatest. He wants better. Totally understand it. But A's aren't going to help him out with run support. They're not going to win the game despite what Caprillion does. You ready to see something?
Yeah, let's see something.
Did you see this? I can't believe this.